Dressed for the weather, I see. Fantastic. Now, mate, you had an early start this morning. Andrew works at Baker's Delight, so if you ever enjoy the good things from Baker's Delight, chances are that Andrew has made them for us, along with Shannon. Shannon's here somewhere. And you say you had an early start at work and been able to get here. It's just fantastic. Now, if you haven't met Andrew, you will today. So we're going to hear a little bit about how God's work in Andrew's life, which is just really encouraging to hear. And so Andrew's going to share something of his story and how it is that he's come to know Jesus and to put his trust in him, and how it is that he's come to be baptised today. So I'm going to hand over to you, mate, and then afterwards I'll pray for you. So yeah, go for it.
We've written a little page of our own. So we've already had introductions, so for those of you who don't know me, I'm Andrew John Bedell. I was born the 31st of May 2002 to Sarah Hill, my mother, and Andrew Bedell, my father. Confusing, I know. My life hasn't been a terribly smooth ride. Hasn't been stable or consistent from financial, emotional, social, all these issues. For all of this, there's one thing I can say, is that through it all, I wouldn't have it any other way. It's given me a unique outlook on life, a philosophy, and a way I act. I've learned from a young age that no matter what the situation is, no matter how hard or challenging it can be, there is a lesson that can and should be learnt from it. I believe this is important, and it's something I'll take with me for as long as I'm around. That's exactly the same way I see my life. I see my life as, though challenging, it's been rewarding. My path to God. Buckle down, this one's a bumpy ride. So from about halfway through year 1 to year 3, I was in a Lutheran school in a small town called Udunda. None of you would have heard of it. Well, maybe some of you, but you know who you are. So this was a fantastic school. It was my first introduction to God. A great one, but obviously being a young child, I had many questions, and a lot of questions that at that age you're not quite ready to understand the answers to yet. And so that it's how I felt for a long time. In year 4, I lived in Alice Springs, and I went to a Catholic school for that year, and not as pleasant of an experience. Kind of drove that wedge a bit further, and I kind of disregarded religion and questioned a lot of things about it. So from then onwards, I've really wrestled with my beliefs on religion, my outlook on Christianity especially. I've gone too far. That's, up until recently, that's been what's happened. I would be remiss if I didn't mention my extended family, my close extended family. So my mum's sister's family, her husband, Peter, her 2 daughters, Alana and Hannah. They are Catholics and have been some of the most amazing people I've ever met to do with Christianity in my life. Through discussions with Peter, I inched ever closer towards faith, starting to realise how great and how just incredible it can be. As you all know, the feeling of Jesus in your heart is incredible. The unbound love and compassion, the absolute trust of God, the absolute trust in God that they have. A true testament. I digress. My path stayed mostly untravelled until about July of 2019. I started working at Baker's Delight. With many mornings, you start to run out of things to talk to, so me and Shannon started talking about religion. And funnily enough, he's Christian. So we started talking a lot, and initially it was kind of like I kind of dismissed a lot of the things he said, and it was, this is all Christian stuff. And well, here I am. So I eventually started to kind of come round and think about things more that he said, instead of just dismiss them and wait for my turn to speak, kind of thing. I started to really listen and take in what he said. And through doing that, I started to change a little in the way I acted and the way I thought. And I know what that feeling of change was. And it was Jesus kind of reaching out, saying, here, my hand's here, it's been here for a long time. And of November of last year, I finally reached back out and said, you know what, sure, let's take this ride. Ever since then, I've still been tackling with a lot of beliefs that I've had, having to rethink them with a fresh perspective, and things are just keep working out. It's about all. So I'm very thankful, very, very thankful the Lord put Shane in my path, as well as the many other amazing people that I've had in my life. And I can say that I now believe that Jesus is the Son of Christ, that he was crucified, died for our sins, that he was the Son of God, and that one day he will come again. Thank you. Amen.